Welcome back to Watch Hands Part 2. I sort of am the nerd about doing this, but I did notice this the other day and I thought I can spend a bit more time on hand. You could spend days on messing about with this stuff. And I just saw, not having a go at anyone, this is what happens when you cut a watch hand out. The detail is not very sharp, so I thought I'd show you. And you get this problem of these horrible jagged edges, and I thought I'd show you how you get around that. This goes for any shape that you use, but it's particularly relevant to hands. This is like a lightning bolt, I suppose, for sake of a better word. And I'll show you how I can fix this. So all I'm going to do is put some guides right where I need them. I'll zoom in there a bit better. It's a bit blurry, so it'll be somewhere near it. It's got this sort of sawtoothed arrangement, or a lightning bolt arrangement here. It runs across up to about this point here. I did look at this watch online just to make sure this was kind of right, and it is about there, and then it runs from this point all the way up. It's about there. That's near enough to it. So all we will do now, create a new layer, put it over the top, make a circle. This is how you can see up here, if I make that the active layer, is how you source colors. It'll be close, as you can see, it varies, it'll be close. It's not the same when you import it into WatchMaker, unfortunately. The colors vary a bit, so sometimes I take this and then experiment and download it a few times, maybe make it lighter, maybe darker. But for this exercise, it will, it will be okay. You'll notice that if you actually take this off or you add this at times, it will come out. You've got to double click twice and it'll reset it. Don't ask me why, it just does. It's one of those things. I'll guess about there. I'll fill that. So control left arrow. Oops. I'll get rid of that. That's not even doing anything. That's not bad. Now, it's these intersecting points. What does that actually measure? I perhaps could have done some of this before. Check that box. I'll bring that up to about 36. Okay, so about 18 either side's probably not bad. 18, just to get a starting point. 18. Go to about there. Okay. As you can see, these are predominantly perpendicular till it gets to here. So we need to do a little bit of messing about here. So you'll have to bear with me. I'll try to get some reasonable curvature on it, particularly on these corners. You can measure that. What is that? That's about 10 by 10, or it should be. Yes, it is. Make another one the same size. All I do is that, drag that in there. That'll do for that exercise. That's where I made the mistake there. Should have changed that. Which I thought I did, but I obviously didn't. Off the center, drag that down there. Now you can have those two. Now all we do is link those. Just find the intersecting corner, go internally. I'll show you why. We'll go up to about there. Won't cause me a problem at the moment. Come back down here. So what you can do is, if you've got corners, for instance, if you had another one about there, you'll find that this intersecting point would be there. So if you go internally, it'll do that. All it does is leave the round outer edge. Saves you messing around, rounding it off later. So I'm just going to fill that. Already, you can see, except what I've done, undo that. I had it highlighted correctly. Undo it. put it back on the active layer on that one because we don't want to color it. We want to color it on that one, not on the actual image. But that, you can see the difference already. So this is really just a matter of, we'll say we'll take a few measurements. Depends on how fussy you want to get. What's that, about 12? Okay, well, what I'll do is that, drop some more guides in. As I said, I can have 50 guides on here at a time. It gets very confusing, but that's just how I get detail. Okay, that's going to come in about, that'll be a little bit less. What is that? Here that is. Okay, the hook on this side is not as much. Okay, what I would actually do, there's one there. I suspect that goes straight and then another one there. So if I take another guide up to here, about there, what is that total distance? 13. It's going to be painful. We'll make it 12, just so then I can split the difference and do 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not bad. Once again, we'll put some little rounded edges on this. We might go 6 this time. We might fit 10 in. It's actually 8. Yeah, it's not bad. We can live with that. That's there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 again. Which is there. Now, what I'm going to do this time is go from there to there to there. I'll pick that corner. I'll sort this out in a minute. Go from there. Accurate there. Get rid of that background. Fill that in. That's not. It's going to work there. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. It just looks a little weird at this point. I think that'll work. Let's try this. What we need to do is, in this case, circle the same. Oh, it's going to be less. Circle. Wait just a moment. Right, I just had a quick look around. This will work. What we can do is we'll start infilling some things. That's going to be there. I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Massage it if you like. Infill that. That's going to come up to there. That's pretty well straight. It'll come up to there. That's okay. What we'll do, just hide that. We'll come from that point. Hide that again. Up to probably that corner. Come straight down. There. Looks weird. If I do that, you'll see what I'm trying to do. So you get this reasonably, we can even clean these up a little bit more in a moment. Make that perhaps not quite so definitive there. Believe it or not, that's a circle, a very small one. So Control I to invert it. Paintbrush, come down a little bit in size, way too big. About there. Something like that. Control I just to get out of that. Now, what's happening up here? That's going to run up to that point there, give or take. So we'll do another circle, the same. Probably only needs to be there. I think that's 8. I use this quite often as measuring. Yes, it is. Turn that back on, save less confusion. Now I'll put that on the outside of the line. It'll run down there, yes it will. I'll fill that just for this exercise. Now we can take that down. Is that correct? No, I've taken that, put that circle in. It's going to come off there, it's going to come off there. Oops. Let me just, that was obviously not 10, I've done that. That's 9. Okay. There's 8. Okay, to the usual size of 9, but it won't actually affect anything. I'll make this slightly larger though. Just to keep it uniform. Uncheck those, draw a circle, drag it down 1. Now, that'll come off there, that'll come off there. And check those, actually I won't check those, but we'll do a second one. Let's not square it as a circle, you idiot. So I'll do that slightly differently. Check that one. It's probably a bit like watching grass grow, but yep, that'll do. We'll go across to there. That way, do it that way, do it that way. I think that's now correct. That'll come across there. Like I did before, link those two together. Corner, corner, corner. Nowhere near the corner. Not the corner there. So I'll fill that. To be back on that first mode, get that back. Just do that. As you can see, it's just a process of working things together. Come from about there to about there. We'll just see what that looks like. And fill that. We go across a bit further. Yeah. Across quite a bit further. Come from that same point. But we'll go over to about there, I think. Try that. And fill that. Not so bad. One in here again, just to tidy that up a bit there. Control I, invert. Like that. We're looking now. Okay, now it's basically going to come off the top here, which is about 12 wide, 10 or 12. I'm not quite sure which. Actually, I'll lock that in. You can see there's 10. Or perhaps make it slightly bigger. I'll make it 12. That's 13. That's 13. It is. Funny how this equates at times. Do it that way. Do it that way. Do it that way. I think you'll find that is now 12. It is. Put that in the center there. Second box. That I want to emphasize come in about there. A little bit of trial and error. Try it there, see what it does. Come up to there. Actually do it to the bottom, down there, there. Infill that. What does that look like? Okay. This needs to be further over, probably from that corner there, because it just doesn't look right. Come across to there, I'll just infill that. To about there. I think we'll do the same here. That doesn't look right either. Just see what this looks like if I infill it there. It is a very odd shape, can I say? And it kind of loses a little bit of definition. I don't mind it that way. But what I will do, let me undo a couple of things, is this one here. I might leave that like that. It's not bad, it's not bad. Okay, let's assume, there you go, and then I'm going to undo this, go back to where I started doing that. It's not that far back. I'm going to reduce that down, it's too wide. This will look better. Come back down to, try it, come back a bit further there. Maybe to there. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, infill. As you can see, I didn't have to go back very far at all. A bit narrower, a bit pointier, not so bad. So we'll leave that like that, like that. There you go, it's not so bad. Not ideal, but you can see this is where the time is lost. Now we'll put a little bit of a bevel on it. What are we doing? Layer effects, bevel boss. See how much I do this in a bevel. Because I explained that, it's, you know, meaning it's inside the image, not outside. I'll do it 2 and 2, see what that looks like. I'll take that up a bit, down a bit, merge. Just a bit of light here, shadow on the back side. Don't mind that, so it's a bit subtle once again. And then a little bit of a you can do this numerous ways. I quite often just change that to maybe not quite black, something like that. And a little bit of linear across there, you can do something like that. There's 1,000 different ways of doing that. You can even do, which I quite often do these days, is delete the center and then just add an internal drop shadow, which I don't mind. Filters, light and shadow, drop shadow, set those back to 0. Truth, that didn't. And then about 15. Control I, I think I need to invert it. So I put a little bit, no, I'll go a little bit more than that. I do this also to try to give a little bit, about 20, make that a little bit higher. That is a slight, okay, I can go further, or darker I should say. Take that back, take it up to about 100. There you go, it's ever so slight now. Invert that down, so that's just a drop shadow over the top. Gives an impression it's slightly a little bit of depth there. Now light and shadow, drop shadow, that's just internally. Click off that. You can also sometimes do is put another layer. New layer. Okay, go underneath the hand. You can even make that white if you like. Just a slightly different effect, and that's basically the hand. So I will show you. You can merge these down. I'm just going to do this into one layer. So you can do, so that's the whole hand. That's it before. That's it now. You send that, as I said, across. You scale it down to 908 because that's currently at 2000. Convert that down to 512 and you'll have a nice crisp hand. So I hope that's helped. Bye.